Every thought is a judgment, right? It's an opinion about something. And thoughts are just identifying with right and wrong. That's how Satan brings it. And we don't know right and wrong. At some times, murder could be unjustifiable, and at sometimes murder can be justifiable. But then the question is, how do you live life? How do you go about life? How do you, if there's no right or wrong, how do you avoid getting yourself into trouble? Ooh, great question. Guys, I got a message that I want to tell you guys. Listen, we got to talk about Satan's biggest trick, because this is so the issue, okay? This is so the issue with everything. Every problem, everything comes down to this. And I didn't really notice it. I'm just learning it myself, for myself, in real time. Satan's biggest trick, his greatest trick that he uses and gets away with it, and I'm going to tell you how he gets away with it, is judgment. I'm telling you, Satan's greatest trick is judgment. And I'm going to tell you why. We're going to break it down more. I'm recognizing it within myself, which is allowing me to understand it more, to speak on it. So I'm going to tell you why judgment is Satan's biggest trick, right? And why judgment sticks is because judgment is like, it's his greatest disguise. It's disguised so well, right? It's disguised so well, and you won't even know. You'll be judging and not even know you're judging, because it's disguised so well. Let me tell you how it's disguised. Is that, for one, it's disguised in truth, right? You could see something or see someone, and what you think you see, you believe you see the truth about it. And you may have some factual evidence. It'll seem like you're telling the truth, but it's disguised in judgment. The reason why judgment is so hidden from people is also because it doesn't bring conflict or pain to you. It brings pleasure. So it doesn't feel bad. When you judge, you feel like you're righteous about it. You feel like you're proving a point. You're feeling like you're exposing someone who deserves to be exposed. There's a false sense of righteousness that comes with it that makes you believe that you're in the right. So that's why it's so easily disguised. Let's say that you smack your grandma. You drink alcohol. That's probably the better example I should have used. Why did I say smack grandma?
What?
I meant like you go get drunk. That's a better one. Afterwards, you wake up in the morning, you feel all bad. You think about what you did last night, and you're like, you start regretting life. You're like, why would I said that? Your friends tell you the story about you, how you were acting up, right? You have this like bad feeling that comes with it to make you like, think like, oh shoot, what the, right? That's why judgment is so easily, Satan gets away with it. Because it seems and it postures as righteousness, but it's destructive. Ooh, we're going to get into it. And every issue that every person has is due to judgment. It's due to judgment, right? The thoughts, right? Because we are always talking about the thoughts here at Bond, and the thoughts will jack you up. Very true. Every thought is a judgment, right? It's an opinion about something. And thoughts are just identifying with right and wrong. That's how Satan brings it. That's why you feel bad about a thought or you feel good about a thought, because you're identifying in your mind with right and wrong about the thought. Another setup. You're saying, this Satan in the mind says, this thought that I'm giving you is a bad thing, or this thought that I'm giving you is a good thing, and your feelings follow suit. Every single thought is a judgment. That's why we feel anything, because we have an opinion on it and we identify with that as true, right? But we're identifying with right and wrong, and we don't know right and wrong. We don't know right and wrong. Because just think about it. If you knew right and wrong, then you would identify with it, and then you would choose a side. For example, murder. Some people say murder is bad. Some people say murder is good. At some times, murder could be unjustifiable, and at sometimes murder can be justifiable. So you can't paint right or wrong on the word murder, on murder itself. Someone breaks into your home and is trying to kill you, and let's just say in self-defense you kill them. Is it wrong? Is it wrong? So there's no point in identifying with right and wrong. But then the question is, how do you live life? How do you go about life? How do you, if there's no right or wrong, how do you avoid getting yourself into trouble? How do you not get mixed up with the wrong things and the wrong people or all these things? Great question. But I want to give a couple more examples. Identifying with right and wrong is why Christians hate gays. The whole world rejects the pedophiles. 99% of the world has a very little grace for a pedophile. That's just factual. Oh, the pedophiles get no love, zero love, hated. The world sees it, and that's exactly how Satan wants it, as wrong. He's wrong. But you don't know nothing about that person. We don't know nothing about that person that created, that did this act. We don't know what caused them to do it, for the most part, right? We know it's Satan, we know anger, we know that stuff. But we don't know the story. We don't know the reason. We don't know what's really going on within that person unless we get to know them or we're around or whatever. We're just judging. We're identifying with wrong. We don't even know. But how do we go about life then? Ooh, great question. You just have to let the moment be your guide. That's it. The moment, which is the presence, the present, the spirit within will guide you and help you and lead you away from this or towards this or whatever the case is. It'll guide you and tell you where you need to go, right? Because every situation needs a different approach. That's why it's not good to learn things. Because now all the things that you learn, you're going to try to apply them in every circumstance, but not everything applies to every circumstance. That's why it's so important to be led by the moment. So the moment, and that's the laws of the heart, right? The laws of the heart will guide you. And it'll tell you what to avoid or what to do. And even so, even in the moment, unless the moment says, don't do that, it still doesn't necessarily mean that you want to judge that as wrong or right. You're just being led to stay away from that in the moment. That's not going to be beneficial to you. Stay away from that. But it doesn't mean now you got the answer of what to stay away from. No, you just see what the next moment tells you to do. The moment be your guide, but that's why all people have to start recognizing and understanding the spirit within and learning how to hear the voice of God within. You have to, because that's your only guide.